swim?
Thank you, Mayor.
How deep was the water there? I mean,
I'm unsure of the depth of the water. Sergeant Mello and Detective Feeney made every attempt to try to keep an eye on him after he jumped. They did lose sight of him briefly, but they were able to maintain a sight line on him. During the search, they did lose sight of him for sure. The Providence police boat eventually spotted him in the water.
you know how long it was between the time he jumped and he got captured?
It was 50 minutes.
Fif-
5-0, yes. It was quite a long time, yeah.
What accounted for that?
He was hiding. He at some point he did come ashore in this marshy area, and it's a rugged terrain.
That was on the East Providence side?
It was on the East Providence side, yes.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
How high of a fall is that?
That's a pretty decent fall. I'm not exactly sure of the height, but I was quite surprised that he was uninjured.
So
I was
he
shocked.
had been under surveillance at this house, and what, for weapons, do you think, or
Yes,
drugs?
the Special Investigation Unit was following up on an investigation related to the trafficking of firearms, and they were conducting surveillance on this house.
Did that investigation go back to California? You say he's from California.
Mhm. So right now, it's a very, very active investigation with multiple agencies involved. We're following up not only these stolen guns out of Texas, we're following up what these weapons may have been used for in the past in an attempt to see if we can solve any crimes that have already occurred.
Do they have serial numbers?
One does not. One was obliterated. The remainder of the firearms do have serial numbers.
ATF involved?
Our federal law enforcement partners are involved.
Is it ATF?
ATF is involved.
Did he live in Providence at the time of this?
That we're not sure.
Okay.
That's under investigation right now. What his connection to the area was is under investigation.
Had he been recently released from prison in California?
We do know that he is on probation right now, federal probation. He does have a charge of trafficking in methamphetamine.
I noticed none of them have cartridges or whatever. Do you presume all of them are operative, all of these weapons?
When we found the weapons last night, they did. Most of them did have cartridges and were loaded. They've since been removed during the processing process.
They look all different. Is there anything common to them, or are they pretty random?
Yeah, it is pretty random. So that's part of the investigation, trying to determine the origin of the guns. Us, along with our ATF and law enforcement partners, are looking into that.
Last year, Providence had a theft of 80+ guns. Is this one of the largest gun seizures you folks have done?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, this for the East Providence Police Department in my 22, 23 years, this is the largest single seizure of weapons.
What does that signify to you?
Well, they're here. We're not immune to illegal stolen guns in our community. We know they're here. We work diligently to try to locate them. The Special Investigation Unit, when they received this information of these guns in East Providence, obviously it's something we take extremely serious, and they made great efforts to seize these guns and arrest someone.
So was the lift pulled over because you had been tracking him from this other home, and what was, I guess, the legal reason for pulling over the vehicle?
So the circumstances related to what the investigators observed on scene and the other information that they had led to the traffic stop.
And that driver, is he or she okay?
He or she, he was quite shaken, as you can imagine. Quite a traumatic experience, observing, the police pulling him over and then someone jumping off the bridge. He, cooperated with our investigation.
You mentioned that there was somebody who tried to offer a diversion of some kind. Who's that, and where are they? Or
So
did
they originated at the residence that was under surveillance. That portion is still under investigation right
No
now.
arrest in connection with that?
No arrest at this time. Mhm.
And was this fellow supposed to go to court today, or, do you know?
So that is being determined. It does not look like he will be arraigned today, but he will most likely be arraigned tomorrow.
In which court?
That's to be determined right now.
And the white Honda with heavily tinted windows, that's the lift?
That was the lift,
Okay.
correct.
And that's random, you presume?
Yes, yes. We don't believe that Lyft driver had any connection to these illegal activities.
You might have said this before, so the first count, the 14 counts, possession of firearm convicted of a crime of violence. Are you able to speak to what that crime or crimes of violence were?
That was his conviction for trafficking in methamphetamine.
Oh,
He may have other charges. He does have other charges, but that is what he is on probation for right now.
How long do you think, he'll go to jail for these offenses?
Well, these are some very, very serious offenses. It's our hope that, some justice is meted out in this case, especially given his violent background. This is not a first offense, so our expectation would be that he does do some serious prison time.
I know you explained this earlier on, but I was trying to absorb all this.
Mhm.
What's the Texas connection? You think that most of these guns are out of Texas?
5 of them, the 5 guns, of the 14, 5 are reported stolen out of Texas. So we have been in touch with the agencies in Texas trying to investigate the circumstances of their theft, if they were involved in other crimes. That's ongoing right now.
Thanks.
All right. Anyone have anything else?
Are you able to provide his date of birth?
His date of birth is 2/26/93.
So his birthday's coming up?
Yep, he's almost 29.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, is he a guest of yours at the moment, or is he at the ACI?
He is currently a guest of ours, but that will be changing shortly.